WNBA is in a panic right now. The WNBA higher-ups are panicking. They don't know what's going to happen. I already let y'all know. I showed y'all the numbers that they was concerned about the play.
Stop everything. The WNBA has officially hit its lowest point. Ticket prices have crashed to just $6. Viewership is dropping faster than anyone expected. Sponsors are frustrated, and fans are furious. And it all traces back to one massive mistake: disrespecting the very player who helped elevate the league, Caitlin Clark. Now, just 72 hours after her departure, the entire league is scrambling in full panic mode. The wild part? They saw this coming, chose to ignore it, and now they have no way to contain the fallout. If you believe Caitlin Clark deserved better, type "Justice for Clark" in the comments right now, and stay with me, because what you're about to hear might genuinely shock you.
ESPN bragging about WNBA ratings for the WNBA season.
The league is afraid that there are some teams' games where you could get into the playoff game for $6. That is how low some of these ratings might be and how low some of these ticket prices might be.
It started quietly, just whispers at first. Slight dips in TV ratings, slower ticket sales, but no one expected things to spiral like this. According to reports from ESPN, viewership has fallen to historic lows since Caitlin Clark stepped away. Games that once pulled national attention are now barely on the radar. And ticket prices? When Clark was in town, seats averaged around $150. Now they've crashed to as low as $6. Entire sections are sitting empty. Some teams are so desperate, they're slashing prices by 50% just to get families through the doors. This isn't just a slump, it's a full-on collapse. And it all traces back to one pivotal decision: how the WNBA handled Caitlin Clark. Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner, the one expected to guide the league into a new golden era. Instead, she's at the center of a growing storm. Fans are now accusing her of shielding resentful veterans rather than standing behind the league's biggest star. Then came the breaking moment. On ESPN, Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. He looked straight into the camera and voiced what millions were already thinking. You had one job: protect Caitlin Clark, and you didn't do it. Now the pressure on Engelbert has reached another level. Behind the scenes, there are whispers of frustrated board members. Sponsors are making calls. Media narratives are shifting fast. And through all of it, Engelbert? Silent. Completely silent.
By corporations and companies, they're back to being in obscurity. With Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats, and she was the tide that lifted them all. But when that tide's not playing, when that tide is out for injury, maybe I'm wrong here. If you guys have seen some commercials, let me know, but I sure haven't.
If you think Cathy Engelbert should be held accountable, drop your "Panic Cathy" in the comments right now, because fans are done accepting excuses. Let's be clear about one thing. Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball, she changed the game. She shattered attendance records, packed arenas, and brought in millions of new viewers. She inspired young girls, drew in families, and pushed women's basketball onto a global stage. And how did the league respond? They downplayed her highlights, minimized her impact, and let questionable plays, envy-driven moments, and dismissive narratives slide without real accountability. Instead of elevating her, it often felt like they were trying to bring her back down. But here's the reality: when a league rises on the momentum of a single superstar and then fails to support her, a breakdown isn't surprising. Fans aren't staying quiet anymore. Just take a look at social media. Feeds are flooded with hashtags like #JusticeForClark, and frustration is boiling over. Every update from the WNBA is getting buried under waves of angry reactions. Parents are even saying they won't bring their daughters to games until Caitlin Clark is treated with the respect they believe she deserves. Former players are stepping in too, calling this one of the biggest missteps in league history. And it's not just fans. There are signs of tension behind the scenes. Reports suggest some sponsors are starting to hesitate, with insiders claiming certain advertisers have requested meetings to reassess their deals. The concern? Without Clark, there's uncertainty around viewership and overall engagement. If you're one of the fans refusing to tune in until Clark gets fair treatment, hit that like button and drop "Justice for Clark" in the comments to make your voice heard. And here's where things take a surprising turn. The league is now making moves that feel rushed, almost desperate.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you go to one of these other games, it might look like this. He said everybody scream. It was like 14 people. Man. I seen more people at a high school graduation. Yo, I see more people at the local cookout. Crazy. Are we sure? Like, see, this is why I be talking about with this more money thing, man. These games, everybody not selling, bruh. Everybody not.
Reports claim the Indiana Fever were pushed to play a game in Atlanta instead of their home base in Indianapolis, all in an attempt to boost ticket sales. Yes, it really came to that. Moving a team away from its own city, simply because attendance without Caitlin Clark had dropped to uncomfortable levels. And that wasn't the only move. Price cuts, promotional gimmicks, aggressive social media pushes, all of it trying to cover up one harsh reality. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is struggling to keep its momentum.
The WNBA ratings' worst nightmare just came true because it was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out for the rest of the season. She's only played 13 games this season, and her most recent injury, which happened back in July, was a groin injury. The craziest part about all of this has been the reporting around her injury. The team has never given her a timetable for return, and literally up until today, the team had been reporting that she was still trying to get back on the court this season. The Fever only have 3 regular season games left in the season before playoffs. Some fans were even speculating that they've just...
This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about opportunity and respect. The WNBA had in Caitlin Clark exactly what every sports league dreams of, a generational superstar with the power to take the game global. But instead of fully building around that momentum, critics argue the league allowed internal tensions, pride, and mismanagement to get in the way. And now, many believe the consequences are being felt far beyond one league, impacting the perception of women's sports as a whole. Fans who were once deeply engaged are drifting away. Young viewers who look up to Clark are questioning what they're seeing. Even parents are starting to ask tougher questions about the league's direction and values. What could have been a defining rise for women's basketball now feels, to some, like a missed opportunity. And the feared scenario is simple. If momentum continues to drop without Clark at the center, ticket sales could keep falling, TV ratings may decline further, and sponsors might eventually pull back. And suddenly, the conversation shifts from embarrassment to something far more serious: financial instability. But if that ever becomes reality, critics argue the blame won't fall on Caitlin Clark. She brought value, attention, and momentum. Instead, responsibility would land on the leadership of the WNBA, including Cathy Engelbert, and the broader system that failed to fully capitalize on its biggest opportunity. That raises bigger questions for fans and observers alike. Does the WNBA owe Caitlin Clark an apology? Should Engelbert consider stepping down? And has the league already missed its best chance to fully evolve into a global powerhouse? Supporters say Clark deserves recognition and protection. Critics argue leadership missteps have created avoidable tension. Now the debate lands with the audience. Where does accountability really belong? And is it too late to reverse course?